Stop competing on price when you should be setting it. Have you ever lost a deal to a competitor who shouldn't even be in your league? I'm David White, and after 40 years transforming sales processes for Fortune 500 companies and private equity-backed ventures, I've identified exactly why this happens. The brutal truth: technical excellence alone isn't enough. When you lack proper authority positioning, customers can't distinguish between your premium solutions and inferior alternatives, leaving you trapped in price wars you never should have entered. Before I share my 5-step market definer method, let me offer you something immediately valuable. Download my Sales Authority Quick Win Guide, free at the link below. It's 12 actionable strategies that eliminate profit leaks and position you as the market definer rather than just another participant. And you can get it at davidwhiteconsulting.com. Check out my training hub. Now, you've been told the marketplace determines your pricing. This widespread myth keeps business trapped in a perpetual race to the bottom. Let me share a quick story. When I was selling door-to-door for Xerox early in my career, I watched brilliant companies with superior products get destroyed by inferior competitors with better positioning. The problem was never their product, service, or expertise. It was their positioning. Through decades advising business leaders from Disney to Sony, I've identified 4 interconnected positioning gaps that systematically undermine your authority. These aren't separate problems. They compound each other, creating a perfect storm that allows inferior competitors to steal clients you thought were yours. I once worked with a small uniform manufacturer being crushed by larger competitors with inferior products, but better-known brands. By implementing the same authority positioning framework I'm sharing with you today, they achieved over 1,000% ROI within months. The transformation wasn't about changing their product. It was about changing how the market perceived their place in it. Similarly, when I helped Ernst & Young launch their Entrepreneur of the Year Awards program, we weren't just creating another recognition system. We were established E&Y as the definitive authority on entrepreneurial excellence. The results were profound. Clients stopped comparing E&Y on price. Your business doesn't have a marketing problem. It has an authority problem. Let me walk you through the 5-step market definer method that makes price irrelevance and competitors secondary. So step 1, conduct the authority diagnostic assessment. Most positioning efforts fail because they start in the wrong place. The authority diagnostic reveals the specific gaps in your current positioning. Unlike generic competitive analysis, this assessment examines 5 distinct authority dimensions: expertise demonstration, market perception, message alignment, audience resonance, and value articulation. A technology client discovered through this process that despite having superior security features, prospects perceived them as a commodity because they communicated exactly the way everyone else did in their space. This single insight allowed them to reposition completely, resulting in a 40% price premium within 6 months. So step 2, develop a category ownership strategy. The most profitable businesses don't compete within categories, they define them. This transforms how you position your business, not as the best option, but as the only option in your newly defined category. When I helped a private equity-backed software as a service company implement this approach, they stopped being viewed as one of the many project management tools and became recognized as the exclusive provider of client profitability optimization software. The market rewards clarity, not complexity. Step 3, implement the value perception framework. Price sensitivity dissolves when perceived value exceeds cost by a significant margin. The value perception framework systematically elevates how prospects evaluate what you offer. This involves recalibrating the metrics they use to measure success, realigning their understanding of true implementation costs, and reframing the timeline for realizing returns. When I implemented this framework for a professional services firm, they transformed from competing on hourly rates to selling outcomes with specific ROI metrics, resulting in contracts 3 to 5 times larger than their previous average. So step 4, deploy the knowledge asset system. Your expertise becomes valuable currency only when properly packaged and distributed. Knowledge assets are the tangible manifestations of your expertise, frameworks, methodologies, processes, and insights that demonstrate your authority without resorting to generic claims. A client in the financial advisory space developed a proprietary assessment process that became their primary lead generation tool. Prospects would complete the assessment for free, receive valuable insights, and invariably discover they needed the firm's full services to implement the recommendations. Expertise hidden is expertise wasted. Knowledge assets make it visible, valuable, and viral. Step 5. Activate the compounding advantage loop. Authority doesn't just create immediate sales advantages. It builds barriers to entry that strengthen over time. This final step establishes systems that continuously reinforce and expand your authority position. This creates a compounding effect where each client interaction strengthens your position while simultaneously making it harder for competitors to challenge you. When I implemented this approach with a cybersecurity consulting firm, they initially saw modest improvements in conversion rates. By year 3, they'd become so firmly established as the authority in their niche that they had a waiting list of clients despite charging 2 to 3 times their competitive rates. The brutal truth is this: your business will either define its market or be defined by it. There's no middle ground. When you allow competitors who shouldn't even be in your consideration set to determine how prospects evaluate you, you've already lost the most important battle, the battle for perception. But when you implement the market definer method, you stop playing a game you can't win and start playing one where you make the rules. Take the first step today. Download my Sales Authority Quick Win Guide at the link below, or visit my website, davidwyattconsulting.com, and head for the training hub. These are the same strategies that have generated over 1,000% ROI for my clients. Don't just compete, define.